Hi everyone, I realise it's been a few weeks again since I posted a video. There's been all sorts going on at the Rectory, but it's all been a bit disjointed. There hasn't really been any one thing that's been worth making a video about, just lots and lots of little bits going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around and show you what's happened, and I've got all sorts of clips that I'm going to throw in. So it's going to be a bit of a clip show today of just lots of different work going on, and then you can see the results. So I'm going to start here in the garden because there's something that I really love about this house that I really do want to show off. Down here at the bottom of the garden we've got this little woodland. It's possibly the smallest, least exciting wood, but something I love about it is that it's absolutely littered with wild garlic. It's just starting to come into flower now this time of year, and I absolutely love this stuff. And in particular, I love the smell of it, and I love the taste of it. I just love picking and eating this out of the garden. I tried to plant it at my other house, but it never took. I don't know if I got some bad bulbs or if it was just the wrong place for it, but it never took. But I think here, where it's a little bit wetter, it's really thriving. Anyway, heading back up to the house now. One of the main things that Emma's been doing here the last few days is pressure washing the patio. This patio, I don't know when it was last cleaned, but it had a pretty thick film of dirt on it. So Emma has been pressure washing this patio, and it's come up lovely and clean. The other thing that we've been doing outside is removing a bunch of pipes. You can see here there's a hole in the wall where there's a drain pipe coming out, and then a disused drain which we'll fill in at some point. And then heading round to the front, we've not got all of it yet, but we've made a pretty good effort at removing the pipes from the front of the house. So you've still got this huge soil pipe here on the front. It's all been disconnected inside and underground, so it just needs to be pulled out. But we're waiting for the scaffolding before we do that. However, if we look closely, there's lots of other holes in the wall where other pipes have been removed. Hooray!
Straight in?
Yeah, why not? So we're going to have to work out how to fill those in at some point. Anyway, heading inside. So this first hallway, the most striking thing here is that we've had to replace the joists again. So when the plumbers were working here, when I started lifting the floorboards up for them, I noticed that we had quite a few more areas of this downstairs hallway where the joists were just rotten out. So Dave and I have been here tearing out the old joists, at least the damaged ones, and replacing them with brand new ones. Yeah. That's a big knot in that. These are 4 by 3 inch joists. They're not particularly big by modern standards, but it's a like-for-like replacement of the old joists that were in the house before. And you can see there's one old one here which we've kept. It's slightly damaged here, but not really in particularly terrible condition compared to how a lot of the other ones were. And we'll be spraying all these to make sure that they're protected. Now, turning around to the library, nothing very exciting has happened in here, apart from above. If I try and get down on the floor and look upwards, you can see what the plumbers have been busy doing. So they've got all the pipework now in place, ready for the master bathroom above. They've got the white waste pipes, ready for the basins, the shower and the bath, and then copper pipes to provide hot and cold water for everything. And they've put in this waste pipe, internal waste pipe, which now goes down from the top floor and down into the ground and outside, which I think I showed the installation of that in the previous video. Got to be a bit careful walking around, but it's not too bad. So here again, at the other end of the house, these were more joists that just fell apart when we took the boards up. So we've replaced, just a like-for-like replacement, the joists all the way through this end. And again, the plumbers have been working alongside us, putting all the new pipework in. And here in the utility room, I'm really just showing you exactly the same again. It's near enough a mirror image of the other end of the house. We're going to have the guest bathroom above. And the majority of the pipework is now in place, ready for that guest bathroom. So for the most part, that is the extent of what's been going on here for the last couple of weeks. It was supposed to be just the plumbers working, but I had to sort of temporarily send the plumbers away so that I could sort these bad joists out. And Dave's been helping me with that. So now, hopefully, the plumbers will be back next week to get things moving again. As soon as they're finished, we'll be moving on to electrics. I can't believe I forgot to mention it when I was walking around the first time. This is possibly the most exciting thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and that is the staircase. We finally got somebody in to rearrange the staircase back to its original configuration.
If I lay it down before I forget here, it might come out. You get right behind this wall. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Just go that way, yeah, make the wall. Don't come any closer this way. What's that? Nail hanging out, yeah. Hang on. What we'll do is get that, you can't say where you might not even reach it, it should reach it actually. What's it? Look there, sticking out. Yeah. Let's have a look, let's try it. Put it down slow, it's a wall. You got it? Yeah. Yeah, it's not. As far over as it goes. Further in. About then. Yeah. It's going that way and up. But at the moment. Silly parts, unless you don't clean it up. Something like that timber.
So rather than having two turns in the staircase, it's now just a single turn. And it just creates so much more space in this hallway. I'm so glad we decided that this was the way to go with this staircase. You can see there's a little bit more work to be done on it. The carpenter needs to come back and finish filling in the rail here and add the missing step. But other than that, I'm so happy with the way this looks. I think people were worried that it would come down and sort of overlap the hallway, or that there wouldn't be space at the bottom. But actually, this is a super wide hallway, and the stairs don't intrude into it at all. So that was absolutely the way it was designed to be. Before I go, I'd just like to talk about one thing that's been stressing me out about the project recently, and that is the flooring again. If we look at the floors right now, we'll see a couple of things. Firstly, the huge majority of the house is suspended timber floor. So we've got joists, wooden joists like this throughout. And on top of that, we can see that we've got a bit of a mixture. In some places, we've got some tongue and groove, pine boards. In the huge majority of places, we have straight-edged pine boards. And really, these are lovely. These are what you might call the original flooring. And of course, in other places, we've now got absolutely nothing because we've had to tear the flooring up to repair damage, or to put pipes down, and we'll be taking a bit more of the flooring up as well to put insulation down. So the question that's been plaguing me is what to do next with this flooring. And basically the options have been either to tear everything out and put a brand new floor down, whether that be chipboard or plywood or new floorboards. A lot of people have said they'd love it if we could get reclaimed floorboards and put those down and try and sort of rebuild the original floor using old reclaimed boards. And then the third option is essentially what was done previously. And if I turn around, you can see a bit of that, which is to leave the old boards in place and then just repair and patch them up using new pine boards. Not the best example there. If I go into the library, you'll see a slightly nicer example of where that's been done. So you can see the difference in colour where they've put a new pine board in place. So having spent an awful long time thinking about this and sort of thinking about how that's going to fit in with the flooring that we actually want to put on top, what we've decided, or at least I think we've decided, is that we are going to go with the third option, which is we're going to keep as much of the original floorboarding as possible. We're going to try to restore it. We're going to try to repair it by using new boards. So we're not going to bother with reclaimed boards, but we're going to repair the floor using new floorboards. And then that then gives us a really solid base. It means we do as little damage as possible. And these floorboards are actually a really lovely solid base. So we can then build whatever type of flooring we want on top. Or if we're feeling particularly adventurous, we could potentially sand it all down and then stain it all the same colour. And hopefully then the new boards would fit in with the old boards if they're all stained together. So that's the plan, just to sort of replace and repair, and then we can decide what type of flooring to actually put on top later on. Emma's very keen on having tiles throughout the hallways and the kitchen and utility room, and I really like that idea because tiles are so easy to keep clean. And then we want wooden floorboards in the reception rooms. So in particular in this lovely big living room where it's already got these old floorboards. We're very much hoping that that we can have a similar sort of floorboard in here, and that it may be these original boards exposed if that works, or it may be that we put a similar looking board over the top to create a new floor over the top of this existing base. Something that I really hadn't understood when I started this project at all is that floorboards, at least in old houses like this, floorboards are not a decorative item, they're a structural item. So these floorboards, they really are sort of holding the house together. In a lot of cases, they are the only things that sort of keep the joists in place. So they are a structural part of the house, not really a decorative part. But, of course, historically, people would have put rugs over them, and of course they became a decorative aspect of the house. So it's an interesting and important decision, I think. And I hope that we're going to make the right decision by trying to sort of repair and replace and put it back, at least structurally, how it should be. And then we can decide how to make it look nice visually afterwards. So that's it for now. I hope I'll be back in a couple of weeks with an update on finishing the plumbing, starting the electrics, and hopefully getting my hands on a bit, as at the moment I'm mostly just sitting around waiting for other professionals to do their thing.